Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So back in May, I graduated from UC Berkeley, and over the past few months, I've been reflecting on my college experience and what I've learned and what I've done. Going to college was definitely an experience and a milestone, and I have had my fair share of wins and mistakes over the past 4 years, but overall, I learned a lot about Berkeley and college in general. So, since fall classes start this week, here are 10 things that I wish I knew my freshman year at UC Berkeley. Let's get into it. Number 1, you might not get all the classes you want and when you want to take them. When you're signing up for classes, make sure that you have some backup classes and a backup schedule just in case the classes that you want are already full. This will help you save a lot of time and a lot of stress when you realize that you can only be put on the waitlist for a class or the class is completely full and you can't even join it. Instead of finding extra open classes that fulfill your requirements at that point in time, you can just click the button of your backup class and immediately get into that class. Avoid the stress of the yellow triangle or the red square in CALCENTRAL. If you don't get into a class during one semester, try again the next semester. You will definitely have better luck as you go through the years and you get more seniority within the school. A really useful tool to look for classes and see what the grade distribution is, how full it is, and literally everything is berkeleytime.com. It is literally a lifesaver for everything related to classes, and everything is all in one place on the site. Number 2, do not buy your textbooks at full price through your courses on CalCentral. I literally did this during my whole freshman year before realizing that there are better ways to buy textbooks. There are a few Facebook groups specifically for Berkeley called Textbook Exchange and Textbook Trading, and people are selling their used textbooks for the same classes that you are probably taking, but for a fraction of the original price. A lot of the textbooks are also available online in PDF form for a fraction of the price as well, and this can be useful if you want to take some online notes. Sometimes your professor will also suggest alternate ways that you can get the textbook as well. Make sure to check out these ways before resorting or buying books through CalCentral. Number 3, get to know people in your classes. It's easy to think like, I'm so independent, I don't need anyone to work with, and maybe that's true, maybe it isn't, but having people that you know in your classes will make the whole experience a lot more enjoyable. You can probably learn a lot from them, study with them, ask each other questions, and overall the class just becomes a really great experience by having friends in the class. Based on what class you're taking and if it's related to your major, they might be studying something very similar to you, and it's always great to have friends and connections within your major, and you might cross paths again in future classes. Number 4, Berkeley Time is a very real thing, but only for UC Berkeley related events. So Berkeley Time is where an event or a class or a meeting starts 10 minutes after the written time. So for example, if you had a class that said it was from 2 to 3 p.m., the actual class would start at 2:10 p.m. and end at 3 p.m. This is very useful to try and get to whatever thing you're going to, but just remember that Berkeley Time is not applicable in the real world. Nothing else runs on Berkeley Time, so don't be late to any other meetings or interviews or anything outside of Berkeley. Number 5. This one you have to do. Go to office hours. Go to office hours.
Go to office hours.
Even if you don't have a question about the homework or the class, literally just go to office hours to talk to the professors or the TAs. It might seem dull to join Zoom office hours or run across campus to get to a really small room, but it really helps you stand out, learn something, and maybe even be more productive. Your professors and TAs are really cool, accomplished people, and they are making time to talk to you during office hours. Especially being at a public university, there are a lot of students, but this is a chance to have a more individualized interaction with some world-class people. Number 6, let's talk about 8 a.m.s. Everyone I've talked to was able to wake up at like 5 a.m. in high school, go to school at 7 a.m., and then they come to college and they have an 8 a.m. and it just doesn't work. I had a semester where I had 8 a.m.s every single day, and I had to make sure I was in bed by 10 or 11 p.m. latest in order to make sure I would be able to wake up and get to those classes. It was hard though, so if you don't think you'll be able to do that, I would avoid 8 a.m.s and choose classes that are later in the day based on your preference. Number 7, research and join different clubs and orgs in order to find your community in college. There are a lot of different clubs, definitely hundreds if not thousands of different clubs, all ranging from dance teams to Greek life to consulting clubs and so much more that doesn't even begin to scratch the tip of the iceberg. The list goes on and on and on. You can check out some of the clubs at this link. All of the clubs are listed out with a description of what they do to try and get a sense of what you're interested in. There's also an event called Calapalooza. This semester it will be a virtual Calapalooza. Basically, Calapalooza is where different clubs set up tables and you can go talk to them and see how their recruitment process is, get on the mailing list, and in general just learn more about the club. It's a really good chance to meet some of the people in the club and see if you would be interested in joining. If you don't click with a certain club or you don't happen to get in, don't worry about it. There are tons of other clubs that are out there, like literally thousands of them, so you will find your community. Number 8, join the Facebook group UC Berkeley Memes for Edgy Teens. This group is literally so funny. It's filled with a lot of different memes that are mostly relevant to Berkeley and what's happening on campus and just college in general. And it's a really great way to laugh about the stressful times, connect with other people, and stay woke in a very Berkeley way. Number 9, use your RRR week, or dead week as students like to call it, very well. So this is the week right after the last week of classes in the semester and right before finals week. It is essentially a free week with no classes. Sometimes there will be study sessions and review sessions and office hours to help you study, but it's really up to you to decide what you want to do during that week. Start reviewing early. That week is literally the quickest week of the whole entire semester. In a blink of an eye, it will be the Friday of dead week, and then it's like, where did the week go? So yeah, start early so you don't have to cram everything into the last few days of dead week. And finally, number 10, embrace change and have fun. College is a very different experience from high school, from the classes you take, the people you meet, and a lot of other things. But really just make the most of it and have fun. College is really what you make of it. It's up to you to embrace the change and try things out so you can grow as a person during your 4 years here, as cliche as that sounds. So that was only 10 things I learned. There is a lot more that I learned throughout college. If you're interested in hearing more, make sure to subscribe down below and let me know what tips were useful for you and what else you want to know about my Berkeley undergrad experience. Happy fall and go Bears!